everybody. I'm not sure if I'm on. Is anybody there? Hello? Hi everybody. I have no idea if I'm live. I haven't been on in a while. I'm not sure if I even hit the correct buttons to get started. I think I see people there. Is that Ace? Hi Ace. Welcome to New York City. It's an overcast day. No rain, at least not yet. It is 66 Fahrenheit, which is about 19 Celsius. We are on the Upper West Side of Manhattan here in New York City. I'm heading to Midtown Manhattan, so we've got a bit of a walk. I'm off to run a few errands. This is diagonally across the street where you see those trees. That's the Museum of Natural History, where the film Night at the Museum starring Ben Stiller was filmed. That's right there. But we're taking a left-hand turn and we're going right inside Central Park here. So this Central Park is about 845 acres. Park here in the middle of New York City. We just entered at the West 79th Street entrance, I believe. And we're heading into the park. We're going to take a little bit of a shortcut to get to Midtown. This way we don't have to worry about traffic. There was a major concert here a couple of weekends ago where Coldplay played with Billie Eilish and a bunch of other people. And that was, I was able to hear part of that concert from my window, which was pretty cool. So I'm missing some of the comments here. Let me take a look. I think I see Elena. Hi, Elena. I see the comments now. Hi, Amy, Elena. And I apologize if I missed your comments. It's been a while since I broadcasted, so I actually forgot some of what I needed to do to get going here. I'm doing well, Elena. How are you doing? We are inside Central Park here in New York City. Central Park runs from, hi Lynn, Central Park runs from 59th Street all the way up to 110th Street. We're probably around 79th Street right now, if I had to guess. Hope the signal's good. I think I see Gary. I do apologize if I missed your comments. You know, when you don't broadcast live a lot, I used to broadcast live every day. Now I think this is my first broadcast in a couple of months. So when you sort of don't broadcast in a while, you lose your touch a little bit. So I have to get back in the groove. I hope I do you all justice in this broadcast. So we're going to head south. I need to head to Midtown Manhattan. We're on the Upper West Side right now, but inside Central Park. I see Gary. Great to see you, Gary. Gary Moofy. Gary from London. Everybody follow Gary from London. I don't know if Gary has been broadcasting from London, but if he isn't, follow him anyway. As I mentioned, it's about 19 Celsius, which is 66 Fahrenheit. Right now, there's a gentle breeze, hardly any breeze. We're inside Central Park. It's a overcast morning, but a very nice morning. It's comfortable. It's not cold. It's 66 Fahrenheit, like I mentioned. It's really nice outside. We are inside Central Park. This road is closed to automobile traffic. It used to be open to automobile traffic, but for many years now, it's completely closed to traffic. So it's used by bicyclists and skateboarders and joggers and walkers. It's still warm where you are. When you're walking through Central Park, would you have any idea you're in the middle of New York City? You're in the middle of Manhattan, one of the most populated cities in the entire world. Would you know that walking in this park? No way. Unless I pointed the camera this way and you saw the skyscrapers, you would have no idea you were inside New York City right now. Now, I haven't seen a comment in a while, so I have no idea if I'm even live right now. But we'll keep going. I hope I have a signal. Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm live. I'll keep going. Ace says it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Lynn says we hear and see you. Okay, my signal says poor to fair. My HAPS app on the upper right-hand corner has a little bar showing the signal, and right now it says FAIR, F-A-I-R, and there's only like 2 bars lit, so it doesn't look like it's coming through on my end. Gary says he's around as usual. So we're heading south. We're inside Central Park. Choppy, but not too bad. Okay, keep me posted. Now the signal just jumped to great, so hopefully it stays that way, but who knows. So as you can see, it's a little bit past 1 p.m. here in New York City. I'd say it's about 1:15, 1:20 p.m. right now in the afternoon in New York. It is overcast. Rain is expected, not now, but later on this evening. But it's a beautiful day nonetheless. It may not look beautiful from looking at the sky because it's gray, but the temperature is wonderful. Nice and comfortable, 66 Fahrenheit at 19 Celsius. You're fine here. Thank you, Gary. Keep me posted. And the joggers are out, the bicyclists are out, the walkers are out. You're out with me. We're walking together. I have a bunch of errands I need to run today in Midtown Manhattan, so I'm heading south into that direction because that's where I'm heading. My sound got more quiet. I don't know. My microphone is still in the same spot. I have it pinned to my jacket. It hasn't moved. Hopefully it'll come back. Here. All right. Hopefully my microphone comes back. Lynn says the sound is good. Okay, thank you, Lynn. Keep me posted. Signal is still coming across strong now, whereas before it said fair. So hopefully it stays that way. You can see that building off in the distance with the pointy tower. That is a residential cooperative building. A few famous people live in that building. It is on Central Park West in the 70s, I believe, in the West 70s. Am I ready for Christmas? I cannot believe, Ace, how quickly this year has gone. It really has flown by, hasn't it? And again, for those just joining, welcome to New York City. Although you may not recognize this, you might think we're in the forest somewhere. But we are not. We are in the middle of New York City, inside Central Park. I hear music, which is very common. There's a little lake coming up on our left inside the park here. And there's usually little up-and-coming bands that play here. This should come into view in a minute. It's a guitar player. You can see Midtown Manhattan in the background. That's where I'm heading. That's 5th Avenue, toward 5th Avenue on Central Park South in that vicinity. That's what you're looking at. That tall building is 432 Park Avenue, which has been in the news a lot lately. The residents of 432 Park Avenue, which is one of the most expensive buildings to live in, tens upon tens of millions of dollars to live there. The owners of all those condominiums are suing the developer because they say the building is malfunctioning. It's putting them in danger. There's floodings. The elevators are constantly breaking. And they are suing. So I just zoomed back out. We have to keep moving, unfortunately, because I don't want to be late. I have to be somewhere at 2 p.m. Right now it's about 1:20 p.m. We have time, but I can't keep stopping, unfortunately. Yeah, so that tall high-rise I told you about, I'll get you another view. Just when I said we can't keep stopping, I'm stopping again. Oh, you can't see it from this angle. 432 Park Avenue. A-Rod used to live there with J-Lo. At the time they were an item, but they broke up. But at the time they shared a condominium at 432 Park Avenue. And they have since moved out, but all the owners that are still there are suing the developer They say the elevators constantly break down. They say when it's very windy, the building doesn't act appropriately, like it makes weird noises. There's been electrical outages. So it's a lot of drama going on in that building. I'm glad I don't live there. My voice is dramatic. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I thank you for being here. So we are in the middle of Central Park in New York City. As I said a million times, you would never know you're in the middle of New York City by these views, but we are. We are, look. See? That's a residential co-op on Central Park West. We're very close to the Central Park West side of the park. To my left is the east side. The Central Park borders on the west, Central Park West. On the east, it borders Fifth Avenue. To the south, which is where we're heading, 59th Street, also known as Central Park South, is the other border. And the northern border is in Harlem on 110th Street. And it's about 845 acres. And you would never know you're in the middle of Manhattan, but we are, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. The runners, the joggers, the bicyclists, the skateboarders, the walkers, they're all out in force today, as are you, because you're with me. And I thank you for joining me. It's been way too long since I've broadcasted live. I have no excuses. Yes, I've been busy, but we're all busy.
I smell the horses.
I will be in Miami, Florida next Sunday. So anyone in the Miami area, if you want to meet up for dinner next Sunday, the 17th, let me know. Isn't that no, Elena, it is not. The Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir is in the opposite direction of where we are walking. It's more in the 80s, the west 80s and the east 80s. It goes around the whole width of the park. But that little lake you saw was not the Central Park Reservoir. It's a much smaller lake. I forgot the name of it. I'm only a lifelong New Yorker. I forgot the name of the lake. See, there it is. Oh, that's okay, Elena. No worries. I don't even know the name of the lake we just passed, and I'm a lifelong New Yorker. Do you know I'm a lifelong New Yorker and I've never, ever once been to the Statue of Liberty? Never. See? We're jaded, us New Yorkers. Trying to get around these folks, but I'm not having much luck. These are the tourists, and I know they're tourists because they're walking too slow. Let's see. I'm trying to pass these folks. Hold on. So you'll always pass by musicians playing an instrument, whether it be a guitar, an oboe, a violin, a saxophone, a little band. You've been to the see, Elena, you've been to the Statue of Liberty twice. You don't live here. I'm a lifelong New Yorker, and I've been to the Statue of Liberty 0 times. 0. So we are heading towards Central Park South. We still have a ways to go. We're not there yet, but we are enjoying this beautiful stroll. It doesn't look like a beautiful day because it's overcast, but it really is a beautiful afternoon because it's hardly any wind, 66 Fahrenheit. You don't even, I'm wearing a very light jacket, but if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, you don't even need a jacket. It's beautiful out. 66 Fahrenheit is approximately 19 Celsius. You lived in New York City, you had to visit the Statue of Liberty due to visitors from Europe. They wanted to go. Yes, the lines to visit the Statue of Liberty can get a little long and hectic. That is true. Get your tickets in advance so you don't have to wait on the long lines. And get your tickets from legitimate sources. So again, oh, there's 432 Park Avenue. We spoke about, hold on. Let me zoom in and show you. I spoke about this building a few minutes ago. Whoops, I accidentally hit the mute button instead of zoom in. That right there is 432 Park Avenue. That's the building I told you about earlier. It's one of the most expensive condominiums. Not the most expensive, but one of the most expensive condominiums in Manhattan. Millions upon millions, sometimes tens of $1 million for an apartment. And all the owners who own the apartments, the condominium owners, are suing the developer for tens of millions of dollars because they say the building is malfunctioning. There's flooding, the elevators constantly break down. There's been some electrical fires. They say it has been built substandard, and there's major drama in the news here locally in New York about this building. Jennifer Lopez and her ex-boyfriend, they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, lived in that building with A-Rod. They had an apartment there, but they sold it a couple of years ago. The penthouse is owned by the daughter of a billionaire from Saudi Arabia who paid $88 million for that penthouse. $88 million just for the penthouse. And when he closed the deal, he gave the keys to his daughter. And you're sick of me saying this corny joke, but I'm going to say it again. I've asked my father, when is he going to buy me a penthouse? And he just rolls his eyes at me, shakes his head in disgust, and does not even verbally respond. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So let me zoom back out. And I need to keep walking because I do need to be somewhere. And I've stopped a couple of times already, which is delaying things a bit on my end. All right, so there you can see Central Park South. That's where we're heading. We're heading in that vicinity to Central Park South. You can see the buildings coming into view. You'll see a few more buildings coming into view. No, it was a billionaire from Saudi Arabia, Hannah. I'll tell you another story. I got to stop again. Ooh, someone got to keep an eye on me with the clock. So let me zoom in a little bit. So this is Central Park South off in the distance. You see this building right here? This building, it doesn't look it compared to the taller one, but this building is 88 stories tall. It's called 220 Central Park South. The penthouse of 220 Central Park South was put on the market for $250 million. No, I did not misspeak. I said $250 million just for the penthouse. A billionaire hedge fund manager from Chicago called the developer and said, I know you're asking $250 million for that penthouse. I'm offering you $225 million. Will you accept my offer of $225 million for that penthouse? The developer said, yes, we accept. Sold. Just the penthouse, $225 million, setting a record in the United States of America for the price paid for a apartment. That's 220 Central Park South. Sting and his wife Trudy also live in that building, not in the penthouse. They bought a much lower floor, but they live in that building. Now, do you see the taller building right next to it? That's called the Extel Tower, also known as the Central Park Tower. That's finalizing its construction phase. It's topped out, but there is still some interior construction going on. I don't know if Susan Sarandon lives there. I thought Susan Sarandon lived further downtown, but I could be wrong. The Extel Tower is the second tallest residential tower in the entire world. I'm mispronouncing this, the Khalifa Tower in Dubai is the tallest. I apologize for botching up that name in Dubai, but the tallest in the Western Hemisphere, right there, the Extel Tower, which is over 100 stories tall. This is the smaller building is 88 stories tall. This is over 100 stories tall. Only the World Financial Center, the Freedom Tower in the financial district, is taller than this building, and it's not by much. All right, let me zoom back out. I have got to keep moving. Did I zoom out? Oh, I zoomed in. Now I got to zoom in. I was zoomed out the whole time. All right, that's what happens when you don't broadcast for a while. So I need to cross, I think. Do I cross here? Yes, I do. I need to cross. See, I'm gabbing and not paying attention. Hold on. I got to watch where I'm walking because there are bicyclists and skateboarders all over the place. Hold on. So now we're going to go through an area in Central Park called the Mall, which is a very famous area of Central Park. A lot of movie filming, a lot of commercials, a lot of news broadcasts just for backgrounds. We'll set up shop and broadcast from the mall. It's been on a lot of posters, so you'll recognize it. We're almost there. It's not a shopping mall. It's just called the Mall area of Central Park, and we're heading to that area right now. Be about another minute. And then that's a straight away down to Central Park South, and then I'll end the broadcast because I'll be very close to my destination. But we still have a bit of walking to do. We're not close yet. If someone can tell me the time, I would appreciate it. I need a time check. There's 432 Park Avenue off in the distance. When I started this broadcast, it was approximately 1:15. I have an appointment at 2 p.m. 1:33. Okay, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Thank you. Thank you for John. Good to see John on here. You can see Columbus Circle off to my right. That's Columbus Circle coming into view. That double-towered building is the Time Warner Center you see in the distance. That's the Columbus Avenue. Columbus Circle area of Manhattan. And we're heading toward the mall. Again, the mall is not a shopping mall. It's just a section of Central Park that's sort of a wide straightaway, which is, you'll recognize it because a lot of movies have been filmed and television commercials have been filmed and television show scenes have been filmed in this upcoming location of the park. Oh, John Hardy, please. The Yankees have broke my heart. The New York Yankees are a professional baseball team here in America. They represent New York City, and they lost a one-game playoff earlier this week. And a lot of Yankee fans, myself included, are none too happy. That's the band shell, where a lot of jazz musicians and orchestras play. Great acoustics from that band shell. And we're now on the mall. So you might recognize this. This is the mall. Again, it's not a shopping center. It's a very famous part of Central Park. Very wide. You can see it's a very wide walkaway. And the trees sort of come together in the middle. It's very beautiful, especially on a sunny day. But today it's overcast, but it's still beautiful. A lot of artists line the sidewalks. Photographers, artists, people selling little trinkets, but it's really not a mall. It's just called a mall. And my signal just told me it went from good to fair. So I hope you're still with me. No, there's no stores on the mall. They call it the mall, but it's not a mall in the traditional sense. It's not a shopping mall. It's just a straightaway walk through. But it's very pretty. It's too bad it's overcast because it's not showing the true beauty right now. But it's still very nice. Yes, people do feed the pigeons here. John is correct. But people feed the pigeons throughout the park, but they do so here as well. That is true. You might hear way off in the distance a lot of cheering and yelling. There are softball and baseball fields off to my right, to the west, and there is a few games going on. It's purely amateur. You can just reserve the field, and there are people playing softball and baseball, and so those are the cheers and the yelling. You might hear a little bit off in the distance. I don't know if the microphone is picking it up, but that's what you're hearing there in the background. People selling posters, paintings. That's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was a justice on our Supreme Court who recently died. This is a very famous mural that just went up in the last year. It's the Women's Right Pioneers. I don't know if you can read it. I wish I could have time to explain more. I have to be somewhere, and I've got to keep an eye on the clock. It's a very famous statue, and it's a recent statue. I think it went up within the last 2 or 3 years at most, maybe sooner. Well, I'll do another broadcast at one point and talk about that some more, but I just don't have the time right now, unfortunately. 1:37. I don't know what that means, Elena, when you say 1:37. Oh, the time is 1:37. I thought you were talking about the minute 37 mark of my broadcast. Thank you for the time. Yes, I need to know the time. I must be somewhere at 2 o'clock. I cannot be late for my appointment. And we're doing all right. Time-wise, we're doing all right. I should be there with about 5 or 10 minutes but I should be there with 5 minutes to spare at the pace we're going. So this is the end of the mall. We're now heading back to the park. We're much closer now to Central Park South, and I need to get to Central Park South on 59th Street and then head a few blocks south to 56th Street, and then I'll be at my destination. But that's where we're going. I'm a good narrator and tour guide. Well, thank you, John. I haven't done a live broadcast in a while, so I was a little nervous that I was going to lose my mojo. So your words mean a lot to me, and I thank you. I barely remembered how to even start this broadcast. It's been so darn long. For those of you who are just joining, if you're in the Miami area, I am going to be in Miami next Sunday, the 17th. So if you're around and you're in Miami, hit me up if you want to meet up for dinner or something. Okay. Let's go. Pretty soon you're going to see a horse and carriage. They're lined up for the tourists on Central Park South. Well, I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet. Maybe because of the bad weather there. Oh, no, I see one. They're out and about. I think that's a horse and carriage up ahead. I'm not sure. Off in the distance. I'll stop and show you if we pass one. So the building's coming into sight. That's Fifth Avenue and Central Park South. Straight away, that shorter building, that's the Plaza Hotel. If you remember the Home Alone movie with Macaulay Culkin, right there, that's the Plaza Hotel. Now, do you see this building? I'm not getting political. I am simply pointing out the building. So everybody calm down. This is not a political broadcast. I'm just pointing this out to you. That right there is Trump Tower, that rectangular black building. That is Trump Tower. The taller building right there, we spoke about a number of times. That's 432 Park Avenue. This tall building, I don't know the name, but it's a brand new construction, skinny condominium building, multi-million dollar apartments. And there's the Extel Tower that we spoke about, the second tallest residential building in the world. The first tallest residential building in the world is in Dubai, but the Extel Tower is number 2 in the entire world. There it is right there. Right there. That's the Extel Tower. Those towers right there, that's at Columbus Circle. That's the Time Warner Center, both those towers. And we got to keep moving. Wish I could stop, but I can't. Pressed against the clock. You don't get white homes in New York City. Yes, it's extremely expensive to live in New York City. There is no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's a very expensive city to live in. But you know me, I love this city. I also think it's the greatest city in the world. Others will disagree. I'm just telling you my opinion. So there's the Extel Tower in the middle of your screen. To the right is 220 Central Park South, where that $250 million penthouse sold for $225 million to a billionaire hedge fund manager based out of Chicago. I have 19 minutes. Thank you, Elena. I should be just fine. We just have a few more blocks to go now. I sort of came out of the wrong entrance. I needed to come out more towards 7th Avenue. Instead, I'm coming out of 5th Avenue. So Mary, because she's gabbing so much and not paying as much attention as she should, is going to be exiting an area of Central Park South that's a little bit too far to the east of where I need to be, which is going to add to my walking commute, but that's all right, we'll get there. I'll just pick up my speed a little bit. So I don't see the horse and buggies today, so they might have them indoors today. I smell the horse poop. I do smell the horse poop, but I do not see the horses. So either they have them indoors because of the overcast weather. Maybe they don't want them to get caught in the rain, although it is not raining right now. Rain is not expected until later this evening, and it's only about 1:45 p.m. So Central Park is almost at its end here, and then we're going to be back where all the hustle and bustle of New York City is in Midtown Manhattan. We're going to be on 5th Avenue and Central Park South when we get out of the park. I'm going to have to take a right-hand turn and head back west because I went too far east. Well, I'm busy gabbing with all of you, but that's okay. I enjoy it. I'm glad to be with you. It's been too long. So this is a good mistake to make. Run, Mary, run. I can't run. I have a handbag on my shoulder, which I'm holding on with my left hand, and in my right hand I'm holding my iPhone, talking to all of you. So I can't. Oh, here's the horse and buggy. I told you they'd be out. I didn't see them. Usually we see them a little bit further back, but here they are. We'll stop again very briefly, and I'll show you. They're lined up over here. New Yorkers do not use these horse and buggies. They're extremely expensive. It's more for the tourists. I have very mixed feelings about this. I'm an animal lover. I sort of don't like this. Others disagree with me, which is fine. I'm just giving you my feelings. Look how beautiful. Just gorgeous. Look at this. Look at these beautiful animals. Just gorgeous. Absolutely breathtaking. I agree with you, Elena. And there is controversy about this. There is a percentage of New Yorkers that want this outlawed, but then there are just as many New Yorkers that say absolutely not. We let them continue to do what they're doing, and I will leave it up to you to make your own decisions on that. So you hear the horns, you see the crowds increasing. That means we are out of Central Park. We are no longer in Central Park. We are now on Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is right here, this street right here. Not right in front of you, but the next one over is Fifth Avenue. We spoke about these buildings earlier. That's the Trump Tower. That right there is Bergdorf Goodman. And this right here is the Plaza Hotel, the famous Plaza Hotel, where the Home Alone movie was. And you know you're back in Midtown Manhattan by the traffic jams, by the honking of horns, and by the controlled chaos that is this great city of New York. There's the Apple store right there. You see the little apple? That's the Apple store. But we got to go this way because I went too far to the east. We're now walking on Central Park South. So to my right, where I'm pointing the camera, that's where we just were. We were just there in Central Park. But now we're on the street. We're walking west along Central Park South. Central Park South is a two-way street. Traffic coming at us is heading east. We're walking west. The New York City Marathon, which will be next month, the final stretch of the New York City Marathon is right here on Central Park South. They head right before Columbus Circle, then they turn into the park, which is where the finish line is. So this is going to be all closed off next month as the New York City Marathon, which did not have a marathon last year because of COVID, will be holding a marathon once again this November, which is next month. Central Park South has two very famous people that live on Central Park South, which is where we're walking. Tony Bennett, and up until recently, Lady Gaga. And there's a very well-known sports commentator named Keith Olbermann, who also has an apartment on Central Park South. So when I got out of the park, I was, as you can see, I was way too far west. I wasn't paying close attention to where I was going. I was busy gabbing away. And I have to head back. I was too far east. Now I'm heading back west to get to my destination, which is adding to my walking commute, but that's okay. I can use the exercise. Will I be in the marathon this year? I am not. I do go running, but I am a short distance runner. I could never ever run 26 miles. I would collapse and drop dead. But I will be a broadcaster, weather permitting. If I can get here on the day of the marathon, I will be here broadcasting, standing right around this location, broadcasting for you, so you can see all the runners passing by. Those two buildings off in the distance that look identical, that is the Time Warner Center. CNN's corporate headquarters are in Atlanta, but they have a very big presence in New York, and they broadcast out of that Time Warner Center. Anderson Cooper, for example, is based out of the Time Warner Center. All right, I got to look at the traffic. This is 6th Avenue. 6th Avenue, I'm facing south, camera facing south. I'm walking west, that was 6th Avenue. And I got one more block and then I have to hang a left. Here's Central Park again to our right. The whole time we've been walking since we exited the park, Central Park has been to our right. to the north. We're heading east. I'm sorry, we're heading west. Fifth Avenue is behind me. We just walked past 6th Avenue. The next avenue is 7th Avenue, which is where I need to hang a left-hand turn and head south a couple of blocks. 12 more minutes, thank you. I should be okay for my appointment. It's probably got another 5 or 6 minutes of walking. This is a good walk, a great exercise. Great to be back live. Great to see all of you. I wish it were more sunny, but that's okay. It's not raining. It's a beautiful day nonetheless, because the temperature is 66 Fahrenheit. There's no humidity. There's a slight breeze here because we're right alongside the park. And I think I see another nice view for you here facing north into the park where we were most of this time. This is a public transportation bus. MTA is the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, and that is the bus.
They pretty much have everything for kids.
Was there something that you can...
So you can see the Time Warner Center behind those trees coming into view. We're not heading there. We're going to turn off a block before that, but that is the famous Time Warner Center. The right side tower is the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. The left side tower is multi-million dollar apartments. Many years ago, Ricky Martin had an apartment in that left tower, as did Renee Zellweger, but they no longer live in the Time Warner Center. They have long past moved out. Hey, Dean. Nice to see Dean. I do apologize if I'm missing comments. I have to watch where I'm walking. And because I haven't watched too closely where I was walking, I ended up too far to the east of where I needed to be. There's 220 Central Park South right above us almost. That's that famous penthouse I told you about earlier that was put on sale for $250 million, just the penthouse. And it was sold for $225 million to a billionaire hedge fund manager in Chicago. Foodie. That's public information. If it were not public information, I'd too. Not in that penthouse. They live in a much lower floor, but they live in that building. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom in and show you the New Year's Eve ball. Times Square is we're on 59th Street. Times Square is on 42nd Street, but you can see it from here. Can I sketch on here to show it to you? I don't know how to sketch on HAPS. You can do it on the old Periscope. But in the middle of your screen, you're going to see a bluish colored ball. I don't know how to sketch to point it out to you. I'm gonna show when the light turns. I'm gonna cross the street and show you the Times Square ball where it's more clear for you to see. That's a fire truck off in the distance. There's always sirens going off in Manhattan. That's just par for the course. We're waiting for the light to change. We're going to cross to the other side of 7th Avenue, and then I'm going to show you the Times Square ball, which is off in the distance. I'm going to zoom in my camera, and you'll be able to see it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not watching the screen. I'm trying to get into position here to show you the New Year's Eve ball. All right. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, do you see it? The camera's shaking. I have it zoomed in. That right there is I don't know how clear this is coming through. Someone's going to have to tell me. But that in the middle of your screen, I know the camera's shaking, is the Times Square New Year's Eve ball. You see that round ball? That is crystal, Waterford crystal. It's extremely heavy. They used to take it down after New Year's Eve, but now they leave it up year round because the tourists all complain. They said, why are you taking that down after New Year's Eve? Please leave it up all year. So we do. We leave it up all year now. There it is. That is the famous New Year's Eve Times Square ball. You're looking at it right there. Right there. It's a little blurry, unfortunately. Hold on. Let me zoom out back the other way. Here, it's clearer this way, but now you know where to look. That's around 42nd Street. We're on between 58th and 59th Street, so we're further north of there. But there it is. There it is, right there. So I'm gonna go back to normal. There we are. All right, so now I have to head to 56th Street to my destination, and then I am where I need to be. So we're almost done with this broadcast, just a couple more blocks to go. And I cannot stop anymore because the clock is a ticking. 7 minutes. See, this is not good. I gotta move my ass. Oh, sorry, I have to move my rear end. Okay. All right. This is now 58th and 7th. We need to go to 56th and 7th. Gotta be careful here. It's a lot more crowded than the Upper West Side. This is where all the action is in Midtown Manhattan. Very busy. Lots of foot traffic and automobile traffic. I know the camera's shaking. I've had to pick up the pace of my walk. I do apologize. I need to be somewhere. Oh. The Voice. JB. I'm missing comments. I apologize if I missed your comments. It's not intentional. We're in the neighborhood where I used to live. I used to live in this very neighborhood. I moved out a couple of years ago. Now I live up on the Upper West Side on Central Park West, but I used to live right around here. Back very fond memories. All right, I'm gonna, by the way, oh, how could I miss this one? This is Carnegie Hall. Right across the street, the camera is pointing to Carnegie Hall, the famous Carnegie Hall where the Beatles played in the 1960s. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. Off in the distance again is 432 Park Avenue, that tall, skinny building. We spoke about that numerous times throughout the broadcast. Right across the street is Carnegie Hall. The camera is now facing west, and Mary is heading south. One more block to go, and then I must end this broadcast. I will be at my destination. Carnegie Hall is undergoing construction. You can see the red canopy over our heads to protect us. There's some sort of repairs of construction going on above us, probably on the roof or the windows of Carnegie Hall. You can see here's Carnegie Hall, all the upcoming attractions. I can't stop. I'm sorry. I've got to move. I'm running late almost late for an appointment. But this is all Carnegie Hall. The Beatles played here in the 1960s. Very famous, historic building. I will show you where I used to live. For those of you who were back with me during my Periscope days, you might remember me up on a very tall rooftop way back in the day when Periscope was very popular. And I used to live right there in that brick, I don't know, is that a brownish color building? That's where I used to live, and I would be right on that rooftop broadcasting way back in the day. I don't live there anymore, but that's where I used to live. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. So I just ran in front of a truck and cut him off. I'm still alive to talk about it. And I am at my destination, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. Listen, I want to thank all of you so much. Here's the other side of Carnegie Hall. I really appreciate all of you. That's the hotel where you stayed. I've got to get into a building now and go upstairs. I'm meeting someone. I'm late for an appointment. I really enjoyed this. I'm so sorry I haven't broadcast a lot recently. It's been a while. My fault. I need to get back in the habit of doing this. I adore all of you. We always have a great group. Thank you so much for joining me on my walk, and hopefully I'll be back soon. So until next time, take care and bye for now.